Hello, I'm Neal Cavalier-Smith, Director of Consulting with the Healthy Marketing Team, and I'm going to share with you a 10-minute extract of a presentation that I recently gave at a Stevia marketing conference. It's about the rules of Stevia marketing, getting the right message for the right consumer for this new, healthy sugar replacement ingredient. So, it's a very complex landscape with artificial sweeteners, sugar-based sweeteners and real sugars and sugar alternatives all vying for the attention of your consumer. And to find your way in this landscape, you'll need a map. I'm going to share with you the map that we at the Healthy Marketing Team use with our clients. We call it the Healthy Marketing Model, but for this purpose, let's call it the Healthy Marketing Map, and let's understand the rules of the map. We split the stakeholders, if you like, the brands or the consumers in a healthy market into 4 different stages, and for each stage there's a different rule for a different stakeholder. So stage 1 is the technology stakeholder. The technology stakeholder is someone who has a problem, and you could say that their question is, does it fit my condition? Is it accepted by the medical community for my condition? The lifestyle stakeholder, the second stage, is about whether it fits my values, and especially whether it's new or different. And then typically a benefit or a new ingredient or a new technology will move into the early mass, where the question is, how does it fit with my routine, and does it make me look and feel good? So finally, a ingredient or technology can become a category standard. The question here is it normal? Is it for everybody? Does it fit with my family tradition? So those are the 4 questions that you'll be asking, and it's important to identify which of these 4 stakeholders your brand fits, because we've observed in the market different rules depending upon which stakeholder you're needing to communicate with. Now we find failures and success examples in all of the stakeholders. Here's an example from Coca-Cola, a spectacular failure, the Coca-Cola Plus loaded with vitamins. Now the question I asked, why did this fail? A very simple answer is, well, where does Coca-Cola live in the 4 stakeholders? All the way over here in the late mass. But where did they try and introduce Coke Plus firmly into lifestyle? Consumers were not ready to accept a lifestyle proposition from a late mass brand. They also weren't ready to accept health from a brand known for refreshment and not for health, perhaps the opposite of health. So, success and failure examples with Stevia. From the technology stakeholder, we haven't found one single product positioned towards the technology stakeholder, but Stevia has a role to play for those with a problem, those who are asking themselves, is it approved by the medical community, and with a big need state. And the role that it has to play there is among the diabetic community. We found lots and lots of evidence online that people are blogging and talking and discussing the merits or otherwise of Stevia versus other sweeteners and sugar for people with diabetes. And we're certain that people with diabetes are picking up many of the Stevia products, but they're not targeted primarily at people with diabetes. Stage 2, the lifestyle stakeholder. This stakeholder is defined by emotion. It's the whereas the technology stakeholder is the brain, the lifestyle stakeholder is the heart. I don't need it, I want it. Is it cool? Is it on trend? Does it fit with my values? Lots of action here for a new ingredient like Stevia, which is an alternative to potentially more artificial intense sweeteners, and in particular this proposition, G Natural, G2. This is an energy drink. Energy drinks don't have a particularly positive health halo, but this introduction into the energy drink segment is trying to say, well, I'm much more natural, and it's supporting that less bad for you brand image with a less bad for you sweetener ingredient. So it's not a hero in this lifestyle example, but it's an enabler. There are lifestyle examples where Stevia has become a hero, and we'll get to those in a moment. In fact, here's a commercial.
Meet Pure Via. The all-natural, zero-calorie sweetener. Made with the naturally sweet extract of the stevia leaf. Pure Via is perfectly crafted to complement the rich, full-bodied flavor of your coffee. Pure and simple. All natural. 0 calories. Pure Via. Nothing to hide.
So, nothing to hide. The proposition for stevia in Pure Via is that this is an all-natural sweetener. It's not some artificial ingredient, but it's derived from nature, and it fits my values. Using artificial ingredients, it says, is not in my nature. So the kind of brands that this can work with are cereal brands like the whole food cereals, like Dorset Cereals, or any kind of a brand with principles. Stevia can be a way to help them live up to their values and their principles. And here's an example from the Whole Earth website. So, if one side of the lifestyle coin is, does it fit with my values? Does it support my life view? The other side is it on trend? Is it on the steep part of the trend curve? And at the moment, this isn't a sustainable position, but at the moment, stevia is on the steep part of the trend curve. As its launch in Europe approaches, the people who are blogging and reading and looking online are learning more and more about it, and they will start to be intrigued by products containing stevia. Nevertheless, this example that I'm showing you, Sobe, which is a Neal water, very much on the trend for replacing diet drinks with Neal waters, doesn't use artificial sweeteners. It uses stevia, and it uses minor celebrities painted with skin suits rather than swimsuits to promote it. But it doesn't talk about stevia front of pack. Once again, stevia is an enabler for their proposition. And in the long term, the trend of the new ingredient stevia will go over the trend curve. So, as it does, it will reach the early mass market, where it becomes a little bit more normal, and you can see the kind of benefits that people are looking for now are, does it make it easy for me to make better choices? Does it make it easier for me to make healthier choices? It's a little convenience, a little taste, a little aspirational in the early mass. And the important thing is, can you make simple comparisons? This muffin contains 100 calories. This muffin, in this example, can be walked off in 13 minutes. Or this brownie replaces only 6 M&Ms. They're both 100 calories. If you make simple comparisons in the early mass, people understand the advantages of your ingredient. Once again, the ingredient is not taking a front of pack role here, only a back of pack role as an enabler to a healthier proposition. Finally, in mass market, what's the role for a new ingredient in mass market? Well, the mass market stakeholder doesn't want anything new. They want stuff that fits their family traditions and their routines. But they don't have problems. They think health's just a question of luck. But they're still getting ready for the summer. They still want to reduce their calories. That's a mass market value. So if you take the example of this particular commercial, it's somewhere between Desperate Housewives and Sex in the City. It's extremely mass market, but what they're interested in here is, can they expose more flesh in the summer? Can they fit into that little swimsuit? So the idea is Trop 50 orange juice goodness with 50% less calories and 50% less sugar, but still giving the great taste and goodness that they expect with orange juice. This has been the runaway success in the US for Tropicana. It contains Truvia, or Pure Via rather, which is a Truvia variant or a Stevia variant, but it doesn't talk front of pack about it. It does in communication talk about it, but the principal communication is the great taste and nutrition you expect with 50% less sugar and calories. So those are examples from each of the different 4 stakeholders. If I recap over the rules, but first show you an example of another failure. Does this look normal to you? Sprite green? The consumer didn't feel so. Once again, an example of Sprite, which is a fit everyone brand, launching into a lifestyle proposition, which is a fit me proposition. Another failure from a big brand trying to play in lifestyle, not obeying the rules of the category. So here are the rules, stakeholder by stakeholder. Quite simply, technology stakeholders are driven by need. They're looking for rational benefits, often life or death. So the question for them is, does it fit my condition? They will accept proven new technologies. They will see function as more important than food, and your brand will have to invest in education. You'll have to be an expert brand with real health claims in that stakeholder. Whereas moving into the lifestyle stakeholder, it's driven by emotion. They don't want to read health claims, they want a brand that fits with their values, a values brand, which either is new and different or perhaps more natural, supports the other attributes of a brand already in the lifestyle segment. So here you're on the ingredient trend curve, but also potentially just providing support to the claims and promises of an existing brand. Into the early mass, can you make it easier for them to make health choices? Can you fit their routine and give them convenience and reassurance that they're doing the right thing? It has to be a premium brand, well-known comparisons. This is equivalent to this. Moving into the mass, remember, they don't want anything new. It's driven by normality. There's no need to change. There's no motivation to change. So here, it's can it fit my family tradition without changing my habits, with only normal, everyday kitchen-covered ingredients? Can I give the same taste and experience that I'm used to, but perhaps with less unhealthfulness? So, no claims, nothing new, just connect to what they already know. In conclusion, my read of the stevia trend is that your stevia communication has to be true to your brand. That means in the mass, it's an enabler. I want fewer calories. I don't care how you did it. In lifestyle, right now, it can be a trendy new alternative to sugar, especially whereas in France, there was a scare about other intense sweeteners, and this pushed stevia onto the front of the pack briefly. So soon, the trend for the new ingredient will wear off, and the best role for stevia in lifestyle will be as a naturally positioned alternative to existing intense sweeteners. But brands who care, brands with values and principles like Dorset Cereals or Innocent Smoothies. But take care when combining it with other sweeteners. I saw at the conference lots of people talking about sweetener combinations to reduce the bitter taste. But for the lifestyle and early mass consumer, less is more. A bloated ingredient deck is a reason to reject your product, not a reason to accept it. Finally, take care with the naming. The trend in European markets is towards trusting only kitchen cupboard ingredients. The advice is reject anything that your mother wouldn't recognise as food. And my mum wouldn't eat steviol glycosides. So for more information on getting the right message to the right consumer, do check out Peter Venstrom's book, Venstrom's 4 Factors of Success. I think there's a link to it somewhere here on this website. Thank you for your attention.